So far, we have got standards that cover fertilizers, standards that cover good agricultural practice, and also standards for animal welfare, including the standards for agricultural logistics. And we hope by end of June, we'll have the standards for shellers and threshers and tractors. But there's work in progress that already came from the ministry for contour ridges and grain silos. We hope maybe by this time next year or by end of this year, these two areas will be in the form that we discussing today. The whole idea of this workshop is then to review and critique and add value to the two draft standards. One on shellers and threshers and the other one on threshers. So what we're going to do, wherever you have a comment, we then ask Madam Engineer Chipango to then move to that area. We see you thinking over what was already on the document.
We want to present our deliberations here. We have started with 4.1.1.3. This is the edit one. 1.2 right there between 4.1.1.2 and 4.1.2. We wanted to add a clause there on training of operator. Wonderful. Then the next one, 6.1.1.
6.1.1.
This is, I think, it's about the warranty. We worried about the 6 months. They thought it's a bit on the lower side. Okay. So we wanted to up it a little bit to 12 months, at least 12 months.
So at least 12 months.
Yes. Because our argument was 6 months. It's possible that you may bought that machine and you may not have used it actually before the time it expires. Same applies to 6.1.2, just to make them uniform.
It's 0.3331.
331.
On the our comment was about the measurements. It seems like it's not being standardized. So our comment is like the measurement should be standardized. For example, being measured in meters, as there is no specification on either meters or inches that be.
So we can say the form and shape of the thresher or sheller shall be measured
in meters.
In meters.
Yes.
Oh, that's fine.
That's our proposal.
So we are not worried about minimum length, minimum width.
No, we are not.
Thank you.
The return checkup time should be specified, as different users may have their own view. Like I would propose the change is the threshers and shellers shall be checked on all moving parts on the equipment every time before use and after use. That's our proposal.
We have a general comment about the whole document. There were quite a lot of errors in the numbering. 1.1, 3.1.1.3. I think you can look into that. So we started by 3.4.2. So we thought that on 3.4.2 it should also include the threshers, since the whole standard document is mentioning about threshers and shellers. But in 3.4.2 we mentioned about shellers only, and you left out the threshers out. We thought that 3.4.2 should actually come on 4.1.1, because there was kind of a repetition about the inclusion of a manual in the machines. So having said that, it means we are getting rid of 3.4.2, leaving us with only one safety measure, 3.4.1. So you have to look at 3.4 and correct safety measure instead of safety measures.
My name is Clopas Rukuni. I'm the Director of Agricultural Engineering and Mechanisation in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Resettlement. We have been having a workshop on mechanization standards for tractors and shellers in Masvingo. It's part of our countrywide consultation before the standard is approved and published. The workshops we are having around the country are basically to have stakeholder input, especially on reviewing the draft standards which are now existing on tractors and shellers. These standards, in our view, are very important because they are supposed to be addressing specific challenges our users, our consumers, who in this case are farmers. And these farmers, as you are aware, use machinery and equipment as part of our agricultural production system. It is very important at this time and age for us to have standards for all what our farmers use, because our various suppliers tend to produce similar equipment but might vary in specification here and there. And it is our duty as an institution, together with the Standards Association of Zimbabwe, that we develop standards which can guide our farmers in terms of selection and choosing equipment to buy. And secondly, it can guide our manufacturers in terms of producing equipment which is uniform, which is compatible, which is durable, and which is reliable for the farmer. This is exactly what we look at as one way of improving our services to the farmer. As you are aware, in our Vision 2030, it is the mandate or the mantrax of Vision 20 that we provide quality service to our farmers or to the farming community. And by producing standards, we're basically trying to ensure that we are improving our service in terms of quality to farmers and the consumers, so that we enhance on production and productivity through the use of certified equipment which is durable and which is reliable. So as a way forward, we still not convinced that by only producing standards for tractors, we are solving problems. We still need to identify other areas within our production cycle, especially related to agricultural engineering and mechanization, where we believe farmers still need to be protected through standards. They also need information, and this information can be provided through standards. And these standards, while they are consultative, but they are critical. At times, if there is no compliance, there is no performance at all. And if a farmer is invested in a machine where a machine at the end of the day does not last to pay for itself or does not perform, then it will be a wastage of investment. So this is why we say this is very important.
My name is Engineer Chirivangani Koza. I'm a Tech Director in the Department of Agricultural Engineering, Mechanization and Soil Conservation, which is a department that is under the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development. We are working here together with the Standards Association of Zimbabwe. It's the ministry that proposed the standards that we are discussing. So this workshop that we are having here in Masvingo at this venue is one of a part of the series of provincial meetings that we are having. We have been to Bulawayo, Mat North, now we are in Masvingo. We will be going to Manicaland and also Mashonaland West. The idea is to bring together stakeholders who are involved in the manufacture, the use and the operation of agricultural machinery and equipment. This workshop was discussing two standards, one on threshers and shellers and the other one on tractors. The idea here is to produce what we are calling a national standard on tractors and another national standard on threshers and shellers. we would like to come up with this standard so that this standard will protect the end user of equipment. As you are aware, Zimbabwe is a net importer of tractors, so we want to make sure that every tractor that comes into the country meets our local standards when it comes to attaching our locally manufactured implements.